So I'm taking the wet end off of this XP2 Aqua Flo for our hot tub. And in order to take that off, you got to take these screws out. This one here, this one here, there's one down here. And this one here. You gotta take this out, take these all the way out in order to pull it free from the bracket on the front. These screws go all the way through this motor. Okay, so now this is free, and this part, this guy's gonna have to pop off, and I don't know exactly how easily I can do that without busting stuff up, but got to get this off this shaft. This was not easy, getting this old wet end off of this thing. Okay, I had to hammer, I had to use a grinder. Basically what this does is this will go on like this, okay, and the bottom of this has a brass like a brass nut on the end of this that keeps this onto the shaft here, and you're gonna just screw this on. Can't remember which way it screws on, but you're gonna have to put a screwdriver in here, keep the rotor from spinning, and then you're just gonna screw this on until it stops. Okay, like this. Okay. And that should be on there pretty good. Okay, once you have this all lined up, you're going to take these screws and push them through the full length of this motor into the bracket in the front of the wet, or in the back of the wet end. And then that's going to keep these lined up and secure. You're going to have to just move it around a little bit to try to get it so it starts threading again. So you're gonna screw these in by hand. You don't want to use power tools on these because you want to get it all lined up and not mess up the threads. When you go to put the face on this thing, you want to line it up so that this notch lines up with this key. So if you have it lined up right, it should more or less slip right together. There we go. And then you're gonna screw this down by hand with the same screwdriver. I wouldn't recommend a power tool for this, just because you want to get it. You don't want to mess up any threads and give this a chance to leak in any way. Just a little tip when you're tightening stuff is I usually go just like on a tire on a car. I usually will go in a sort of somewhat of a star pattern where I'll go across from each other and get them all kind of down lightly, then get the one across from it down lightly. Oh, these ones I didn't quite do right, but lightly. Don't try to tighten it too much. Just want it down first, and then at the very end, then you start back here and start to tighten it. And we'll go over here, and we'll go over here, and you'll see that other ones, as you tighten these, it'll loosen other ones, or the previous ones. And you don't want to go too far that you crack the plastic. Never want to crack this plastic, because once you crack it, you're screwed. But this just gives you a good tightening sequence. You flip over to here, flip over here. Tighten it by hand, because tools can go a little too much torque and they don't really have the sensitivity of doing it by hand. So this is ready to put back into the hot tub. I will show that, and then we'll see if we can fire this up and get it working. Okay, I have the pump here ready to go in. It's going back into this space right here. These pipes are going to connect to here. I recently worked on the high temp sensor right there. Hopefully this control board isn't the main problem of why I was having problems with this. The irony was I was trying to fix this, had this ready to turn on, turned on the hot tub, and then the pump started spewing water out of the front. So, you know, that added one more step in this process, but I think maybe we might be in a better place now. Basically what you're going to do is I'm going to put this in here. First off, I'm going to test, make sure the power's off. If you hear anything on any of these power, I mean, I already checked the sub panel over there, it's off, but it's good to just double check it with one of these testers or a multimeter. Okay, I moved that into position, and what I'm going to do is before I screw this motor down, I'm going to fasten the pipes, the intake pipe and the output pipe, or output, or whatever the hell it's called. I'm going to make sure they're all lined up, and then I'm going to screw in these brackets here. So I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to add this one. I'm going to have to loosen this just to give it some swivel, and then I'll screw that down so it's nice and sturdy. Make sure when you're putting this back together you have all your O-rings and gaskets in place, because that really keeps it from leaking. Okay, so I'm going to put that into place, and then I'm going to screw it in and make sure it's all good and tight, and then I'll screw those in. Okay, so I have that screwed in, and then I have my power cable. It's going to go into its place right down here. Oh, there we go. Okay, you're going to push that in. Make sure this guy is all in correctly, and this will be ready to start filling. I got the pump in and hooked up and filled up the hot tub. So now I'm gonna flip on the sub panel, and sounds like the pump is working. I'm having some issues with my control panel, so if this doesn't start heating up, I'm probably going to have to do another video where I show you how to replace the Gecko S-Class control panel for a newer one. But there is a success in that I got this stupid pump working again. So let's see if it goes into second speed. Yep, good. It's just not heating up, so it's looking like I'm gonna have to replace this control panel. Well, despite the fact that I'm going to have to change out the Gecko control panel, it looks like the wet end fix worked, so I'll take that win. Check out my next video and I will show you how to change out my control panel, which is going to probably cost about $450 to buy new.